Uh, okay. Is it? Can it be clean, or can it involve rated R-ness?
It could be
Okay,
rated R. We don't
in
care.
Okay,
theory,
okay.
yes.
Because I got one that has a bunch of drugs involved in it, and
Sure.
it's one of my favorite stories of all time. And no, I happened to be the driver, and none of the drugs were mine. Anyways, that's how I'll preface
That,
this
That's
story.
the
that's what they
disclaimer.
all say. That's what they all say. Now,
Yeah, no, it wasn't mine. I only drink. I only drink, swear up and down. I don't do anything else. I drink, but no, this was, it was our first trip, or my first trip ever going up to, Canada. And, so we're going on up there. Me and, ZPB are meeting up with a dude in Boston, Tim Lennox. I don't know if you ever heard of him,
I
but
think so.
what do you call it? So anyway, so it's me, ZB, Tim Lennox, leaving from Boston. We have to go to Maine first and pick up Jason Rumble. Uh, Now, on our way up there, when we get to Maine, we realize that we still have 8 hours before we get to Rumble's house in the border. So we stop by a convenience store and we pick up some booze. And so the three of us are drinking and driving all the way up the 95 to what you call it, to Rumble's homestead, and we pull up there, and we were pretty sauced at that point. And Rumble comes out, and he's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? Jesus Christ, you're drinking and driving. We have to go to the border. It's 10 minutes away." And we're like, "Ah, we got," and we only had like two six packs left, and we're like, "Yeah, we can finish these two six packs before we get to the border." And so we get to the border, we empty all the empties out, and we're Rumble sitting in the back seat, and so we pull up to the thing, and Rumble's like, "All right, they're gonna ask you some questions, do some talking. Don't mention that I'm a felon for selling weed." And it was like 20. It was like 20 years ago that he got caught doing it. But anyways, it's still on his record at the border. So I go, okay, cool. I'll just do the talking, easy peasy. They won't ask any questions because I won't be suspicious. So as soon as I hand the passports over, Rumble sticks his big nose from the back seat and starts screaming at the border guard. I went to jail for selling weed. I didn't mean to. Let us across the border. I've been going across the border for 20 years. Blah 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 blah. And so the security guard, who literally was just going to talk to me, is now getting yelled at by this asshole. And he tells us to pull into the checkpoint, and we get out of the car, and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna have to search your car for stuff." And so after a whole bunch of things, Rumble is like, "Don't tell them we have merchandise. Don't tell them we have our wrestling merchandise. They're gonna tax us." Well, the security guy opens the back of my SUV, which was like a barn door type thing at the time, and a box of Tim Lennox's merch and T-shirts hits the dude right in the face and spills all over the ground. So now the guy knows that we lied to him, and he pulls us off to the side, and he's giving us a. He's like, "Oh, we won't let you across the border." Blah blah blah. You have to go get this all filled out in paperwork. Yada yada yada. And that took 3.5 hours at this
Oh
border.
God.
And this is where the drugs part comes in. So without them, they were pretty much almost ready to strip search us at the time, but they ended up not doing it because somehow Rumble smooth talked us out of the taxation thing, and they let us go, continue across the border. As soon as we pull out of the damn lobby, or the holding place with our car, Rumble goes, "Good thing they didn't strip search us," and he pulls out a bunch of weed out of his pocket and starts smoking in the back of my car. So I almost got, probably, if they searched us, I would have been held, probably arrested up in Canada, banned from going to Canada. I would have never had 4 years of wrestling in Canada at that time, and my career probably would have been ruined. That would have been on my record. That was my first trip to Canada.
Sounds like a very interesting first time to Canada.
Oh yeah, that wasn't even the whole story, but that was definitely the first part. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we won't talk about the rest of that story.
Well,
Yeah, it
maybe,
was a hell of a trip.
well, we could definitely bring it back on and get part two, and maybe
Oh
possibly
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
three if there is one.
Oh yeah, there's a part two, definitely. No, not really a three, but yeah, part two.
Okay.